What unforgivable act by a celebrity did the public seem to forget too easily? Hey everyone! Today, we're talking about celebs and the unforgivable stuff they did that somehow got swept under the rug. Yep, those jaw-dropping moments that vanished quicker than you could blink. Get ready for a ride as we dig into the shocking slip-ups that everyone seemed to forget. Let's dive into the forgotten scandals of our favorite stars. Before we go to the first story, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Number 10. CeeLo Green, the way he straight up admitted to f***ing people because he thought it didn't count if they were drugged. It was so disillusioning to see him still get features/invites/media attention after that. I had no idea about this somehow. My band cover is crazy, and now I'm like, maybe we shouldn't. You're gonna have to write off so many bands at that point. Good luck covering anything pre-90s lol. Number 9. Richards, Robert H. and IV. The heir to the estimated $14 billion fortune of the DuPont family, Richards was jailed in 2009 for abusing his 3-year-old daughter sexually. In an attempt to clear his record, the billionaire offered to take a polygraph test. Nevertheless, he failed the test and ultimately admitted to the accusations. He could have faced a 30-year jail sentence, but his attorneys managed to have the accusation reduced to 4th-degree rape, earning him an 8-year sentence instead. But the court decided that he wouldn't fare well in jail, so they suspended his sentence and released him on probation. Number 8. The current First Lady of France, Brigitte Macron, literally groomed her own husband when he was a 15-year-old boy, and she was in her 40s. She was his school teacher and acted extremely unprofessionally when she started sleeping with her own underage student. The boy Emmanuel's parents told her to stay away from their son, as they did not appreciate a 40-year-old woman preying on their 15-year-old boy. She didn't care. She continued grooming poor Emmanuel and even pressured him into marrying her. Nobody is talking about this. Apparently, it's considered okay by many people in France because they love each other because look, he married her when he was an adult. Boys can get groomed too. Now this was never okay. Emmanuel Macron is a victim of grooming and possibly CSA. Number 7. Nikki Minaj supporting her rapist husband and rapist brother, trying to keep her brother from going to prison by harassing his victim with her family. Absolute trash. And murder. Let's not forget he's also a convicted murderer. He was arrested on 2nd-degree murder charges and pleaded down to 1st-degree manslaughter and served 7 years in prison for it. And this is a separate and unrelated crime to the charge. Number 6. Chris Brown. Edit. Little story for y'all. So I was working in a pretty shitty law office when I had this beautiful coworker. Doesn't really matter, but I'm a male. Anyway, one day she starts talking about how she watched this Chris Brown documentary and how he was actually the victim, not the girls, whom he abused and bragged about. I said something like, didn't he abuse Rihanna and literally get a tattoo of her black and blue face on himself? She responded with some fluff about he's the victim. The next day she said some guy hollered at her from his car while she was getting lunch and he was just her type. Never looked at her the same way after the Chris Brown comments, but being into some dude yelling at her from his car just cemented it. Number 5. Shia LaBeouf is a violent alcoholic who has been arrested multiple times, usually for attacking people. One time he had to be muzzled during an arrest because he wouldn't stop spitting on everyone. During another arrest, he accused the African-American police officer for arresting him for being white and told the officer he was going to hell for being black. He's currently facing a lawsuit for assaulting multiple women. His arrest video that's public is pretty bad. At a couple of points he threatens to murder the cop, taking him to the drunk tank, and says some racial shit about the cop's wife having sex with black guys. There was also an accusation from his ex that he would drive around LA and kill stray dogs to help get into character. Number 4. Luc Besson. Besson's second wife was actress and director Madeline Lebesco, whom he started dating when he was 32 and she was 15. They married in late 1992 when Lebesco, 16, was pregnant with their daughter Shanna, who was born on 3 January 1993. Lebesco later claimed that their relationship inspired Besson's film Leon, 1994, where the plot involved the emotional relationship between an adult man and a 12-year-old girl. Their marriage ended in 1997 when Besson became involved with actress Milla Jovovich during the filming of The Fifth Element. Roman Polanski. On March 10, 1977, 43-year-old film director Roman Polanski was arrested and charged in Los Angeles with 6 offenses against Samantha Gailey, now Geimer, a 13-year-old girl. Unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor, rape by use of drugs, perversion, sodomy, a lewd and lascivious act upon a child under the age of 14, and furnishing a controlled substance to a minor. At his arraignment, Polanski pleaded not guilty to all charges, but later accepted a plea bargain whose terms included dismissal of the 5 more serious charges in exchange for a guilty plea to the lesser charge of engaging in unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. Polanski underwent a court-ordered psychiatric evaluation, and he was placed on probation. However, upon learning that he was likely to face imprisonment and subsequent deportation, Polanski became a fugitive from justice, fleeing to England and then France in February 1978, hours before he was due to be formally sentenced. Since then, Polanski has mostly lived in France and has avoided visiting any countries likely to extradite him to the United States. But none of this stopped Hollywood from giving him a standing ovation at the Academy Awards in recent years. Number 3. Ezra Miller groomed a native girl since 12-year-old and then, not technically, kidnapped her at age 18 for a fair bit of time. Right before that, he freaked out in Hawaii and assaulted someone, and then after the native girl incident, got a harassment charge and then burgled some alcohol from a neighbor's home. And then the Flash movie came out, but everyone had forgotten everything that happened almost exactly a year before. Pretty wild. Number 2. Chuck Berry has been lauded as the king of rock and roll. He's also a voyeuristic sicko who installed hidden cameras within the women's restroom of his restaurant. In his even younger days, he also did time for transporting a 14-year-old girl across state lines for sex. Not state lines. He took a 13 to 14-year-old girl from a bar in Mexico to his own bar in St. Louis. She managed to get away 2 weeks later and went straight to the cops. He got arrested and did time for the Mann Act, a nasty law in its own right. He human trafficked a minor girl to a different country to work in a bar, let alone anything else. Number 1. Soulja Boy beat a pregnant woman into having a miscarriage. He just recently did a show in my town. It was a small venue. It did not sell out. People may have forgotten what he did, but they also forgot he existed, so that's something, I guess. He still shows up on podcasts and stuff from time to time, basically insisting he single-handedly created modern hip-hop. Dude is the definition of a one-hit wonder, whose biggest claim to fame was a song that white 8th graders awkwardly tried to grind to in 2008. Thanks for hanging out with us as we dug into those moments from celeb land. If you had fun, hit that like button and join the squad by subscribing for more gossip sessions. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What other celeb scandals slipped through the cracks? Until next time, keep those scandalous memories alive and stay fab.